Guys, Howard Schultz this weekend, illicit history of the 1990s with Zach Carter and why Howard Schultz's campaign exemplifies all of the problems of that era. But this was just fun. He gave a policy speech today, and he's bringing Jeb Bush back, baby. He's bringing that Jeb Bush energy.
The cost of an education, under President Daniels, the cost of an education here will be less expensive in nominal dollars in 2020 than it was in 2012. Congratulations. Got to clap for that.
Fuck you.
I think it's the nominal dollars that really sucks the air out of that stat.
We got it. I mean, the bit there is obvious. It's like a spending adjusted for nominal dollars. You just put nominal dollars in every great piece of oratory in human history. Like, nominal dollars under the apartheid regime have been disproportionate in the townships. You could basically ruin anything with the phrase nominal dollars.
Women's rights
Yeah.
are nominal dollars.
Yeah, suffragettes and nominal dollars. Am I right, folks? You know, if you gave me my fucking Supersonics bribe, I wouldn't have to do this.
He owned the Supersonics?
Well, he
sold
bailed on
them.
it. Yeah, because he couldn't get it.
He's the reason they're not in Seattle anymore.
Yeah,
Where are they now? What are they called?
They're in
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma as the Thunder.
right. But he had a temper tantrum because he couldn't get public money given to him in terms of, you know,
Why are they all that way? You know the
They're all that
MLK
way.
quote that Bernie used to get in the speech on Tuesday about how there's socialism for the wealthy and
rugged individualism for the rest.
Yeah.
Right. No doubt. And also just, I mean, what's amazing about this is just literally how personally aggrieved they are. That, like, I mean, I am not one for these kind of points, to be honest. But because I just am like, you know, hypocrisy and all this stuff is baked into the cake. But, like, to go out and say, like, I'm going to restore, like, this American common sense and unity in the face of extremes. And then that his default reaction to any time AOC's name is brought up is, but she's un-American. Yeah. I'm running to bring us all together. Oh, what about the most popular young politician in the country's proposals on spending? She's un-American. Yeah. Anyways, we need to stop demonizing each other.
What is the thing that he said? He said billionaires is a slur. I like to be called a person with means.
Person with means.
Yeah. People of means are leveraging their
Yes.
interest in the wrong ways.
So billionaire is literal violence.
It's so delicious. Like, there's a world in which that joke actually doesn't get broader traction because people don't see billionaires the way that we have now learned to see them.
Right.
That's part of
No
this
doubt.
Overton window shift. I don't see everybody jumping on that in the same way in 2002 as they do today.
Well, I mean, look, we already established that in Cory Booker's Heart of Hearts, he would like to be Che. But in 2012, I mean, this guy literally went on national television in the heat of a campaign to undermine an incredibly effective reelection campaign, which is that the centrist, moderate Barack Obama team sat down and they were like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to fucking hang this guy with Bain Capital and he's going to lose. Pretty simple, great and effective. And Cory Booker was like, this is nauseating. They fund a lot of charter schools. How dare you? I mean,
That's one of the Bookerisms that I don't quite get.
which one?
The charter school obsession, enthusiasm.
I think it is because his career was built on a fusion of venture capital money from New York, and then he used charters as like a proxy for his like war against the Newark political establishment.
So if he stops backing charter schools now,
I don't think he can. I think honestly, like he just went to his charter school convention. Like, I think that one would be like such a reversal that I don't think he could pull it off.
here's what it is. I just decided it in my head. So my first boyfriend from college is like this type of guy, I think. Very nice guy, by the way. Just delightful guy. But
never want a woman to speak about you in that way.
No, he was delightful.
Ever.
I have a lot of affection
Really
for
nice
him.
guy. Supported charter schools, but really sweet.
I saw on LinkedIn recently. It was like, oh, it's one of his work anniversary or something, and I saw that he was on the board of a charter school.
I bet.
And he's like the one. He's like one of the handful of from a very wealthy Black family, and has ties to wealthy CEOs in his family and things like that. And when I would broach these kind of subjects to him, went to business school, all that. Works for a bank. Well, sorry?
You dated Vernon Jordan's son?
He would be very easy to chase this down, which is why I'm going to pivot off of the subject now. But like the point of the matter is like there's a certain kind of person who really does believe in the doing good by doing well, and that I'm going to make a bunch of money and then like fund a charter school. Right. And he means, I think he's very sincere about it. My ex, like I think that he really thinks that that's being helpful, and I wonder if Booker is just like of that ilk, like from these prestigious schools. He really just thought that like accumulating wealth and then individually like being a one-man redistribution team is like how you do it. And what if there's a young Black kid like me who's exceptional and talented kid who can get out of this? Let me give an avenue for that person, and like who knows what happens to the rest of the people.
I think I'm sure that that's true, but I also think that I know less. I have a friend who, and I need to be careful about, but who's very in the education world and has an understanding of behind the scenes. And he said, and of course, like we all hate Mark Zuckerberg, obviously, but he said that for all of the built-in like ideological blind spots and absurdity of Mark Zuckerberg, even like saving the Newark schools, like all of that baked into the cake is just a structural problem. He was like the really sick thing about that whole thing that they did with Facebook in Newark is like if you dig into it, Chris Christie and Cory Booker are like the shysters. Like, oh yeah, we're going to get a fucking injection and that's going to be political capital. And Zuckerberg in his total sociopath twerp PR way is actually on some level just being like, oh yeah, the ghetto kids will get iPads and that's good.
Yeah.
Right. And of course that's ridiculous, but he was saying like relative to the politicians, Zuckerberg maybe had like the most, least objectionable on a relative scale attitude. So that colored my perception of. I
get that. And it's like the Bill Gates syndrome,
Right.
Which to that point, Ocasio-Cortez, I keep bringing this up, but it was a really good talk at the TNC, the Ta-Nehisi Coates interview with her on Martin Luther King Day,
right?
Where she said the famous thing about, he asked her, "Is it ethical to be a billionaire?" And she's like, "No," and it's great. She's great,
right?
She followed up.
And Kamala Harris was like, "I prosecuted child predators." Excuse you.
But she followed up saying, look, I don't, it's not that I'm concerned that he's ill-intentioned. I don't think that Bill Gates like kicks his dog and is like an evil person. And then she made like the structural argument, which is what you should do. But I think there's like a way that Mark Zuckerberg is like structurally naive.
I would say, to say the least.
Yeah. And the same with my poor ex, and I'm sure he'll find his way.
But you know what? I think he's probably a really nice guy.
He's a really great guy.
See? Not good, folks. You just enjoyed that Michael Brooks Show video, and you can get a lot more by subscribing to us here at the Michael Brooks Show YouTube channel. It's literally right there.